Dennis Rodman on his way to another rebounding title, averaging better than 16 rebounds per game. Out of action since late March with a sprained ligament in his left knee. This will be his 5th straight rebounding championship. The Bulls 21-5 though without Rodman due to injury and or suspension. Randy Brown, who has been out of the lineup with a leg injury, able to set it up for Steve Kerr to get this second quarter rolling. Dickie Simpkins is also checked in, so it's Simpkins with Williams and Pippen up front, Kerr and Brown in the backcourt. While the Knicks go with the 3 guards, Ward, Starks, and Childs, along with Oakley and Williams. And a foul called on Pippen, and yet another collision.
Well, John Starks running off a big screen by Charles Oakley, who stepped out to try to nail Pippen, and Pippen in his haste overrunning John Starks. Jeff Van Gundy has to be very upset. He's got 2 point guards in there in Ward and Childs, another good ball handler in Starks, and they turn that ball over. When you turn it over against Chicago, they generally capitalize.
And Starks had the shot blocked. The Knicks leading the NBA. Most turnovers just under 18 per game. Oh, he hit the deck hard. And a flagrant foul will be called. He was trying to stuff it, and he was slammed down. A flagrant against the Knicks.
Right away, Charles Oakley going to the referee. He felt that Scottie Pippen waved off with the left arm in his attempt to dunk over Buck Williams, as Scottie Pippen taking it strong in on Buck and did push off ever so slightly with the left arm, or at least tried to ward off Buck Williams. But from the live action, I felt that Buck tried to block that shot, but once you come down with the arm and don't get ball and get some body, you're talking about some possible flagrant situation.
Well, you could feel the impact right there. Buck Williams still discussing the flagrant call with the official, Mark Wunderlich. 1 minute gone by in the second quarter, and the Bulls now lead the Knicks 32-25. Larry Johnson checking back in, replacing Chris Childs. Johnson playing with 2 fouls. Michael Jordan getting a rest here at the start of the second. Here's Brian Williams, got the step. And then Williams took a poke, like he took a shot over the eye. Ward protecting the dribble on Brown, who's an excellent defensive player. Buck Williams, nice move by Buck Williams, and the Bulls now lead 32-27. Kerr comes into tonight's game, number 2 in 3-point field goal percentage, behind the points of Charlotte, Randy Brown. Randy Brown missed games recently with an inflamed Achilles tendon. Made his return Wednesday in the game against Miami.
Randy Brown putting intense pressure on Charlie Ward, trying to take the Knicks out of their half-court offense. They do eventually get it inside, however.
And Williams is fouled. Well, a reminder, tomorrow, the final day of the NBA regular season will get underway right here on NBC at 3 o'clock Eastern with NBA Showtime. And most of you will see Shaquille O'Neal and the Los Angeles Lakers going up against Kenny Anderson and the Portland Trail Blazers. Others will see the Bullets and the Cavaliers in a big one, or Houston and the San Antonio Spurs. Check your local listings for the game in your area. A programming note that tomorrow's Washington-Cleveland game will be seen out in Chicago, the upper Midwest, the Cleveland area, and the Baltimore-Washington region. Whoever wins will make it to the playoffs in that 8th and final seed in the Eastern Conference. The loser goes home. If Cleveland wins, they go to the playoffs, despite the fact you look at the record with the Bullets at 43-38 and the Cavs a game behind. They would do it by virtue of a 4th tiebreaker. They have the identical records, as you saw. They split the season series if Cleveland wins tomorrow. They have identical records against Eastern Conference teams. That's the 2nd tiebreaker. And the records against the Eastern Conference playoff teams would settle it. Cleveland slightly ahead in that department. One of those unusual scenarios where the winner on the final day of the regular season will go to the playoffs. Well, the Knicks want a goaltend. Pippen able to protect the dribble. Behind the back for Simpkins. Simpkins gets it back. Simpkins not able to score. Firing a brick. And here comes Starks. Putting the move on Brown, and he's fouled.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy still hot about no goaltend called on Scottie Pippen as it lazily lays right on that rim. As it appeared, Scottie Pippen interfered while it was still above the ring and on the rim, and it should have been offensive interference.
9.5 remaining. Second quarter. The Bulls by